Kia ora team, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we have a look at projects to consider whether or not they're going to be worth investing in. Today we'll be looking at the delightful and the beautiful Morpheus Network. Now before I continue, just remember that anything I say during this video should not be considered as financial advice, and it should only be used for inspirational, educational, and entertainment purposes. That was very fast, like that. So what is Morpheus Network? Let's jump straight into it. Morpheus Network, there's a Morpheus Network optimizes supply chains. This is accomplished with their SaaS middleware platform, seamlessly integrating legacy and emerging technologies while providing supply chain managers with digital footprint, providing shipment and item visibility for automating safe and secure supply chains, saving time and money. So essentially, yeah. So to sort of summarize that, for those who are less technical, they pretty much look after, or they pretty much have this sort of online-based system where you can work with, I guess, where you can, like identify incoming and outgoing things or what have you, like shipments, and that they can be done on a sort of more complicated level, and you can track them, you can add little codes, and you can do all that sort of thing, all of those sort of things, and follow and all that jazz. So essentially this is like, so this will be part of the blockchain, but it will be so it's blockchain powered, a blockchain powered supply chain, really. That says it all. Alright, so let's have a look at how the stats have been going with this. Now if we have a look here, so we started at about 0.1 and 0 point something, so hasn't been doing a whole lot. But then we come and then so they had this sort of big burst here, and then so a few ups and downs, and downwards. Not entirely sure what's been causing these, but I'm assuming that these are also a part of the general. Oh, year to date, yeah. But I'm assuming these are also a part of the general. What is it called? Because the cryptocurrency market had its like big pump there, and it also had its like kind of bull trap there, where people thought it was going to go back up again. So their all-time highs, so probably about $4.90. I'm currently sitting at 162. So we sort of want to ask ourselves, is it probably going to go up? Is it going to go bigger than that? But let's have a look at some of the other stats first. So first of all, it's got a market cap of 76,000. And its token ranking is 486, the holders. Now we will be looking at some of the tokenomics with this project, which some frustrate me. But the largest wallet which we have currently is 35.89%. Do not know who owns this wallet. That's concerning me. The fact that we do not know who owns that, and that is a hefty amount. If this person sells their amount, the whole entire coin is just going to drop super heavily. That could be maybe some level of a part of the contract. These guys, I don't think they work on a proof of stake system. They work on, if I understand this correctly. So we'll just try to sort of see if I can find maybe any sort of proof of stake or proof of work or anything like that. And I can't see anything which really stands out to me as those sort of things, Yeah, if somebody knows, feel free to mention it, because I don't know how people are actually gaining money on this. Yeah, not entirely sure. It's currently, so you can buy it on KuCoin, Gate.io. You can do Uniswap and all that sort of jazz, Bittrex. Yeah, I do have links in my description, sort of, with those, with the KuCoin and Gate.io, if you want to sign up, and hopefully you can get some benefit. So it says that so its buy and its sell seems to be okay, but here's something which is a bit random for me. So, on Token Sniffer, it says that it is not sellable, which is kind of concerning, and liquidity pool is also not found, making it impossible to trade the token. So it's kind of weird, really, when I sort of have a look at when BSC check is like, yeah, you can buy and sell, and the fact that it's on KuCoin and Gate.io, and the fact that we have seen a fluctuating buy and sell, I mean, it's kind of like, what do you do with that, man? So I'm not really trusting Token Sniffer on this one. BSC check though, so they do also mention the fact of the 35%, right? So 35% is incredibly high, and so we will continue looking at these things. So we have some subreddit stats. So these are other socials. Keep in mind, guys, as we do these videos, so we are mostly looking at some of the base things which other YouTubers I have seen don't really cover as much. So we are looking at a few other sort of social things. They don't have Discord, so I couldn't directly chat to them on Discord, but that's fine. But yeah, so they do, yeah, so that's some of the things which we are looking at. And by the way, with anything which I say, if you did want to add your own sort of 2 cents, you are welcome to add into the comments. Maybe some information which I didn't mention, which you want to add, or if maybe any of the information which I said was wrong, feel free to point me in the right direction of the correct information. Don't just go and like shame just because of the sake of it, because it doesn't really do anything. And I want to create a good community where we can all learn together about what is good and what is not so good. Cool. So subscribers. So we can see a bit of a sort of mellow point with that, and then it went up a little bit more, which is fine. I imagine that it's been mentioned a few times. I saw it mentioned on some famous-ish YouTube guy. Like, he's got like 300,000 subscribers, so I saw it mentioned on his thing. Comments per day. So it's been a bit deadish during the sort of 2020 period, but then the 2022 period, it's been a little bit more, but it's still kind of dry. It's still pretty dry, man. And the posts per day, yeah. So I mean, that's also been a bit dry as well. So it is a pretty small community on Reddit. Don't know how long. Oh, so it says it was created in January 2018. So yeah. So I haven't really seen much of community interaction with it, which is a little bit different. So Morpheus Network, these are some of their Twitter stats. So we'll have a look at some of this jazz. So out of their 23,000 followers, in the last month they've gained about 1,000-ish. So it doesn't seem like there's really much talk about this. That could be good and negative. So one of the goods about that is that if you did want to invest, now's possibly a better time to invest, because people aren't really talking about it as much, and it has the potential to blow up from there. But one of the negatives is that it could also be one of those projects where it's actually just not really going to go any higher, because people aren't talking about it. So it's sort of like a catch-22. So these are some of their posts, the actual Morpheus Network posts. Now, it looks like there is actually a lot more talk on Twitter than there is for other projects. But I think a good thing for us to do would actually be have a look to see if any of these guys are actually bots, because it would be better for us to, not just sort of follow/believe people because, they're going to be bot posting. Doesn't look like any of these guys are bots, which seems pretty good. So they don't seem bot-ish, which I think is good. So it doesn't look like they're actually paying for their followers/subscribers, which is good. So these are some of the Google trends the past 12 months. So this gives us an indication. So 100 means like the max amount of time which or like the max amount which they've been researched, right? So so the MNW is the red and Morpheus Network is blue. So as we can see, so they did have a peak back in November. So this is over the 12-month period. So let's actually have a look over the last 90 days. So that'd be the last 3 months. And it looks like they had this sort of biggish one in October. Morpheus Network itself hasn't really been searched as much as MNW. But MNW could also be an acronym for something else which people are searching. Like, I mean, it could be like a sports team or something. So don't actually know. I will quickly check that though. So apparently MNW is the Swedish record company and also a Indian English movie channel. So yeah, not exactly sure what to say about that, but we'll move on. Now, I found this website as I was sort of doing a little bit of my searching called coin a scam? Now, a bunch of these things here, like, they don't really say much to me. I mean, like, yeah, they don't really scream much to me. But here's what I did, and this is what I found quite interesting, is that people could actually comment and say what they thought of the coin. So, you know, somebody happy that, you know, the platform is live. MRPH token has no tokenomics. So this was the MRPH, which they did actually take off the network. So yeah, so that doesn't, I feel like that's not really as relevant, because it's not really that sort of thing. We get some reality guys. So, you know, he talks about this is probably one of the projects with most paying customers, ranging from multiple governments: Argentina, USA, Uganda, regulators, SENASA, and Fortune 10, 100, and 500 companies. So FCL, Sobeys, Coca-Cola, Bayer, Ant Group, American Hospital Association, Jose Cuervo, and etc. So it looks like they've also got a document. It is well worth a read, and if you are an investor, then you should read through the document, which I think we will have a brief look. Well, this is interesting. So this apparently was updated on the 8th of January. I don't know if that's just like an Autobot or anything, but let's have a look. Crypto Rich interview. Tokenomics. Let's have a look at this. So actually, I have already read through this. I've already seen these sort of tokenomics things. So here's what I don't like. So they talk about the token distribution at the ICO. And it seemed like, from what they had said, that there was about 28% which was allocated to the team, right? But when we actually have a look on the actual blockchain itself, we see that it says 35%. Now, there is a possibility, I was going to say that might have been the Morph token, but that is actually the MNW token, so we are looking at the right one. Yeah, and so it's on a bunch of these exchanges. It's on Gemini. That's cool. Gemini is also another potential good up-and-coming exchange. Well, I say up-and-coming, but they're already like made and everything. Just saw it on Coin Bureau. Shout out to Coin Bureau. Recommend them if you guys don't already watch them. They're very good. Yeah. So it says team 25%, and then top 100 wallets is 85%. Now, I don't know if they include that 25% in that 85%. It doesn't look like they are trying to, but yeah. I don't know, man. Usually, if it's anything above 40% of the team allocation, usually that's risky, but like, because it's barely hitting 30, like, it doesn't make it bad, it just makes it a bit sus, in my opinion, to be honest. Yeah, so I think one thing with these guys is that I haven't seen any partnerships. So I go through their website and I can't see any big name partnerships which they talk about, other than this. Now, with all transparency, I haven't read through all of this document. Yeah, so if anybody wants to take the time to read through that bad boy, they're very welcome to. And if they can see anything which involves the partnership, that could be a great idea. But I think that I haven't seen the evidence behind what this guy is saying. So this fella, this person here, Morph ICO buyer, these guys are flat out scammers. Danny Weinberger, who we will have a look at a moment, is the biggest seller of tokens to enrich himself. His credentials are all fake, flat out scammer. There is no sidechain. The token has zero use. And this is something quite interesting. The token has zero use. I was kind of thinking about that as well when I was sort of researching. I was like, what is the point of this token, right? Because so it's like, why do I need this? And then so I have a look at all these, and I have a look at all this information and everything. So I mean, I sort of skim read this, and it just like it doesn't really tell me anything. It doesn't really attract me. It just says nothing to me in terms of like, what can I as the user do with this token? yeah, so it says the backbone of our event triggers automated workflows. So to be honest, a lot of it uses like a bunch of, I guess you might call it supply chain jargon. So the standard person like you and I may not be able to understand that. So I think that in terms of actual adoption, I mean, maybe for those who, they have the bigger businesses, the sort of bigger retail companies and everything, I think that they may actually have a little bit more use than people like you and I, which would make a lot of sense. But in terms of them actually investing into this, it sort of feels a little bit more like sort of like a normal stock market item as opposed to an actual crypto thing. This feels very, for lack of a better word, normie. So their roadmap. So April 2016, woo, 2017, yeah baby, 2018, let's go. 2018 Q4, Q1, Q2, 2019, and then 2020 to 2024. What the heck? There's nothing happening with their roadmap. That concerns me once again. When I see a company, because it does look like they may already have a finished product though. From what I've seen, it does look like it may already be a finished product. But when I see like 2020 to 2024, and you tell me nothing? Like that doesn't give me any reason to think that this is gonna get any bigger than this, right? That doesn't give me any reason. Now we can have a brief look at the teams. I'm running out of time a little bit. So this is Danny Weinberger. I did see an interview with him, so I love that the team is doxed. This is a wonderful thing. Never forget it, all right? So from what I've seen, they've all got really decent like backgrounds and everything. Director of business, founding director, ComShare, sales executive, blah blah. You've got founder and CEO, co-founder, founder, VP strategy. You've got Roger Crook, who was an operating advisor, co-founder, chairman, board chairman. These guys aren't just, a bunch of chumps, right? Like, they seem like they have got a good background. Now, depending on if that one comment which we read was true or not, I feel as though this guy, Danny Weinberger, I feel as though he probably does actually have something to maybe back up his background. But yeah, I don't really know, man. People can make up LinkedIn profiles, but I would say there's probably not much of a high chance of this. Put a nice picture of you standing in front of a thing and all that jazz. But I don't mean to disparage or degrade these guys, because first of all, I think that if what they're doing is completely authentic and true, I think it's wonderful, because blockchain technology is incredible, and this is helping out with the supply chain and helping save companies a whole bunch of money. And they're essentially trying to remove a bunch of the paper trail and everything, and they're sort of wanting to make things more digitalized. And sort of have more of a holistic control over everything, which I think is fine. So Roger Crook, former CEO of DHL, Capital Springboard, DHL, that's pretty incredible. Yeah. Although I have heard one thing bad about it, but we won't talk about that during this video. So yeah, I think. So let me sum up my thing. So tokenomics, I think they're a bit sussy. I think the fact that we have that one wallet, which is at the 35%, is very high and could kill the whole market. I don't think that this is a rug pull, judging by the looks of it. I think that these guys are actually trying to do something good, which I think is fantastic. I think one thing which is slightly disappointing is I don't see any. So we have business development and director of business and marketing. But where's the guys who are actually working on the software? Where are those guys? I want to see them as well. So we have like business and marketing and everything sort of covered, but where's the actual guys who are working on? And it depends on, like, I feel like this guy, the fact that he actually has a document quoting all of the information, I think is great. But also, like, do we really give credence to like that as well? So those are some questions to ask ourselves. Am I going to invest in this? Unlikely. I think that there are possibly other better projects to invest in. Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. Go to Patreon if you want to join. Please consider liking and subscribing to this video. If you're going to say any comments, please be kind. Much love, ka kite ano. I hope that this was insightful.